Hello and welcome to Sacred Foundations December 2022 reading, Oracle reading. I'm so excited to be here with you. We're a little late. I've been sick and Jill's been traveling, and so here we are. We made it. And as Jill always shares, there is no time space. When this meets you, this is exactly when it's supposed to meet you. I'm super excited to be with you. I'm Julia Frainer with my good friend, confidant, partner in crime here, Jill Chesrow. How are you, Jill?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing better, much better.
You
Yeah,
sound a lot better.
thank you. Yeah, you should be able to get through this without coughing and sneezing and all of the things. It's going around.
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of people that hadn't been feeling well. So I'm glad you are on the mend, and I'm glad to be back in Chicago at my PC. So this should go a lot smoother. Yeah, I'm very excited. I know I'm a wiggler. It's all right. Love me anyway.
I think it's because we're just kind of in the motion of the universe, or our Merkabas are surrounding us and we're just kind of flowing in them. That's what I always think.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Sounds good to me. All right. So, Julia, I am going to pull up the cards here in a second. So before we start, welcome to anybody that is new to our Sacred Foundations readings, and thanks to everybody else who joins us regularly. For those that are new, we are using two decks that Julia and I both have cards in. We co-collaborated with a bunch of amazing artists. The first deck is Awakening to Your Divine Self, and the second deck is Priestesses of the New Earth. Are these backwards? Anyway, so and then we mostly work with a spread called the Cross of Truth, which I personally love this spread because it gives you helpful energy and obstacle energy and just kind of tells a little bit of a story. So the way we'll do this is Julia and I will both give our interpretation of the cards and the messages that are coming through. Always take what resonates with you and let the rest go. We're going to invite you to you look at the cards, look at the images, look at the titles of the cards, and see what messages they have for you. So each artist brought through their own message. Julie and I typically don't read the messages from the artists. We'll just do more of an intuitive read. And then every so often we will share the specific words for the artists. I didn't personally feel called to do that this time, Julia. So unless I get a different message while we are actually reading it, I didn't feel called to do that. I don't know if you did. So, having said that, Julia mentioned already that there is no time and space at the quantum field. So even though this is a December 2022 reading, anytime you come across it, it is going to be beneficial for you, and the message will be there for you. So again, take out what resonates with you and let the rest go. All right. Anything else you want to add, Julia?
No, are you ready?
I'm ready. So let's see here. Okie doke. Are they there?
You're there. So beautiful.
All right. So what message did come through for you for the benefit of all of us in the Sacred Foundation Circle?
Yeah, so I'm going to invite you who are viewing this to just really get yourself grounded. Feel your bum sitting on the sofa, couch, bed, floor, wherever you're sitting, and just really come into your center to receive this message. So the first position is the present, what's happening, the present condition, current. And this is Playful Voice. This card makes my heart happy every time it comes up, Playful Voice. And the message here is we're in a season of right before the solstice is when we're recording this, the winter solstice. And winter in the Northern Hemisphere is where we're at, and it's a time of rest. And rest does not necessarily mean sleep. It means to regenerate, to rejuvenate yourself, to be uplifted. My son stopped by yesterday and he said, let's go for a bike ride. And I was like, I don't know, I got a lot to do, right? And I just got on that bike, and we were only out maybe 10 minutes on my hand cycle. And it was chilly and it was cold. and it was invigorating. And I was coughing a lot because I have this illness. But I got home and I was like, that was so wonderful. Just to take 10 minutes to go out and play. He and I laughed. We didn't do anything difficult. We just went out and play. And so the invitation right now, especially at this solstice, is to get more rest. And part of that rest can be play, not hard play, but fun play. The other thing that this card is mentioning is, to me, is that we are earth beings, but we're not earthbound, and we're star beings, but we're not always out there. This is the invitation to really tap into your identity of your true self, that you are a living bridge between the two. And as such, and even though there's a lot of responsibility and maturity that comes with our spiritual journey, it is not exempt from a playful voice. So it's an invitation to have fun and to play, especially this time of year. The second card, and Jill and I both pull these cards. Is it your hopes and fears, or is this your dreams?
So it's hopes and fears and how you really feel about the theme of the reading. So sometimes you just kind of have to see how they fit in. But a lot of times, hopes and fears kind of overlap. They can overlap. So there's that aspect as well.
Yes. So these are the two. And oftentimes people get nervous when this card storms comes up. And I love this card. And to me, this card says, and we all know this, the storms of life are going to come. But when you have a sacred foundation, which I think being playful and having rest helps to bring you into your sacred foundation. When you have a sacred foundation and tending it always, regardless of the storms, and they come, and when they come, there's no measurement of the storm. You're developing through your sacred foundation adaptability, the ability to come back to your center on your sacred foundation and be in the eye of the storm, regardless of the storm. And when you're in it, there is no measurement, right? I always think of Gilligan's Island, and I know that I'm dating myself, but they went out on a 3-hour tour and got stranded, right? And each individual got to decide how they were going to get through that storm. And there was no measurement of it. So storms will come and storms will go, right? How you get to choose to be in it and through it is entirely up to you. And then we have also the Phoenix. And what comes to me through this is, again, being in that center. So the Phoenix, in order to rise from, which we'd like to go, oh, we're going to be the Phoenix and rise through this, you have to go through it. You have to go through the burn. You have to go through the discomfort, right? And you got to be reduced to the ashes. And then it's not coming from the outside up, but it's an actual coming from the inside out, right? These two I felt read so beautifully together. And there is a little bit of, oh my gosh, and oh my gosh, right? It's so beautiful. I also believe that we're in a time where when we're on a firm foundation, a firm sacred foundation, many of our prayers, our meditations, our communications with the divine is staving off things that could come even harder. So I also want to drop here to be in community. Maybe it's our community, Sacred Foundations, or another community of like-minded individuals. But when two or more come together, right? There's power in the prayers, in the meditation, in the hopes and the dreams that come through for that. All right, the third one is create. And this is the helpful energy card. And part of a sacred foundation, and Jill and I were just talking about creation, is to create. I love intuitive art. I bring it into my work. Jill does intuitive art. She brings it into her work. I believe that this is a beautiful way for the divine to communicate through color, shape, images, scribble. It's an esoteric language that helps you on your journey. It's letting go of the outcome and really diving into the process so that you can come out of it. Creating, make it a simple piece of art. Maybe it's intuitive writing, a poetry. Maybe it's cooking and infusing the food with positive energy and affirmations, and then ingesting that. Recently, I've been making glasses that have a wraparound of positive affirmation, and I've been giving them as gifts, and I've sold a few of them. But the idea is that you have these positive words on the outside of your glass and you fill it with water. And Dr. Emoto, we know through the message of water, says that the water molecules respond. And then you drink those up and that comes inside of you. Creating can come in so many ways. And I do believe that it's very helpful in establishing your sacred foundation. The obstacle card, Jill, I hope I'm right. I don't know. We've only done this like 4 years and I'm still like, am I right with my positions?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Good. The obstacle card is the light of hope. And what came through to me on this, well, the card itself is really very beautiful. I feel that the images, the bodies back here are our spirit team. This is, to me, is symbolic of the divine feminine and divine masculine coming in sacred right relationship. Excuse me. But the message of this card for me was to not give up hope. And faith, the definition of faith that I really love is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. And I think that's very beautiful. So how can you take hope and put that into your faith? This is an invitation for us to reestablish or to review or remember our faith. Where is your faith? It's not something that we should take for granted. And that spark of light is eternal. That's the eternal flame from within us as well. It's what you have always been, will always be, that love light. It will never go out. And how do you activate that? Jill and I both offer ways to do that, but know that it's within you. And we invite you to access, I invite you to access that flame, that love light within you, because that ignites your hope. Your hope then ignites your faith. And then there's the believing. And believing is not seeing, or seeing is not believing, but believing is seeing. In other words, then you must vision it, envision it, and that's where it comes into reality, regardless of what comes your way. That's a responsibility or a maturity of having a sacred foundation. It's the exercise of hope, faith, and belief, bringing it in too. And then that ties back with the creation card, because creation asks us to activate our imagination, which is so alive within each of us. And then the outcome is radiance. And I just keep saying 2023 when I see this radiance card right now. It's the outcome of a beautiful year, regardless of what's happening while you are in your sacred foundation. If you are following the things, if you're building your toolbox, if you are getting enough rest, if you are filling yourself, that you could, knowing that you can only give from your overflow, if you are in your contemplation, prayer, meditation, doing your work, whatever comes, there's radiance for you. There's that growth, that light again, that blossoming. Also a beautiful card for the winter solstice, that returning of the light. And let that be a returning of your own light, an invitation for you to tap in and let your light so shine in the world. So that's what came through for me, Jill. I look forward to hearing what you got.
Yeah, that was awesome. So remember, look at the card, see what messages come through for you, take what resonates with you from Julia, take what resonates from me, kind of put the different pieces together, because there are multiple people watching this and listening to this thing, and we're tapped into the collective group energy, some things will resonate with you more or less than others. So always trust your own inner wisdom and what kind of resonates with you. And having an open mind is great. So I'm going to repeat, or you'll see similarities between what Julie and I have said, and then there's going to be a little bit of differences. So again, see what sits with you the most. So as far as the playful voice goes, that card, to me, when I see this card and when I look at this reading, I really see this lightness, this freedom, this expansive kind of fun energy. So I love, Julia, what you said about, being grounded, and then also in the stars, and we are spiritual beings in a physical world, so we can't differentiate. And I don't know, for those of you that are watching this, whether you're new to the awakening path or you've been on it for a while, but you keep dozing off. I personally, when I started my journey of awakening, I was focused a lot on in the ethers, and I was not very grounded at all. Not a lot of practicality to my journey. So I loved being out in the ethers. It was amazing. But as far as the physical world goes, I was kind of ignoring it because I just wanted to play in the upper world. So this card, as Julia pointed out, it's important for both. So that's perfect. And there is a higher energy, a lightness of energy. With the final card of Radiance, we can kind of see there that this moving up, excuse me, in this Radiance is the fun part. Now, for the stuff in between, some people may feel like things are a little stormy in their lives right now, or they're kind of going through some shit, excuse my language. And it can feel a little bit of overwhelming. The card Storms to me is it's letting you know and reminding you of your own resilience. Some people like to dance in the rain. Some people just kind of get wet and they want to hide or whatever, which I totally understand. So just know that if you are going through a little bit of a difficult time right now, that it's just the weather right now. It's going to change. And then look at that Storms card and see the radiance above it, and know that you'll be moving into radiance shortly. Then other people with Phoenix rising may feel like they have been through a lot, but they've made that transformation, or they're further along in the storm, and they are transforming and being rebirthed now. So you may feel more connected to storms right now, and you're actually in the storm, or you're moving out of the storm and there's been this rebirth. So somewhere in between that spectrum, you may be finding yourself. The remedy for that is in the Create card. So what can you do for helpful energy? Julia mentioned a whole bunch of things, mostly of what I was also going to say, so I won't go back and repeat that. I did hear cooking though, because creation for us, we're intuitive artists, we work with encoded art and symbols and stuff, so like that's one go-to, but not everybody's into that. So the cooking aspect, I was hearing my guides say, so when Julia brought that up, I thought that was awesome. So I really want you guys to hear that, for those of you who may not be into intuitive art, is to really, know that creation and cooking is also an expression. I also was hearing while Julia was doing her reading is, we've got with the Create, we've got the light blue border, which is associated with the throat chakra. And then we've got Playful voice. So we've actually got the word voice, and then we've got this light blue energy in the helpful energy card. So for those of you who like to sing or tone or chant or use mantras, that actually will bring this creation energy into benefit for you. So you can use this creative energy, this remedy, to help you move through this period and support you in the month of December with your sacred foundation. That would be awesome to consider as well. So the Light of Hope card, as far as the obstacle energy for me, it shows two things, and Julia also mentioned these to some degree or another, is, are you are you resisting the fire, that this transformation, this phoenix energy? Is there any resistance that you need to be aware of? That, you know, you're hesitant, you're fearful, or you're focusing more on what you don't want and not of what you do want, and pessimism versus optimism. So just kind of tune in there and see if you're afraid of something, or if you know, if you're a little bit more pessimistic right now, which love yourself wherever you're at. If that's where you are right now, love it. And be aware that it is a potential obstacle energy for you. So you're going to want to shift that energy um, with loving kindness. Okay. Be in it, acknowledge it, let it give you the message that it has for you. And then, you know, say, all right, what is ready to be shifted here? Now, as far as the figures above the card, to me, that represents support in the seen and unseen world. So your support system, you may not be tuning into the support system that you have, whether it again is in the physical world of friends and family, you know, licensed professionals, whatever. There's support there for you that you're not tapping into. So whether it's not quieting yourself and tuning into your inner wisdom and your angels and your guides, your, you know, ancestors, whatever it is you feel called to work with, or physical people in the physical world. I'm also hearing for some people, and this will tie in with the Phoenix Rising card because you'll notice a lot of purple around there. This is violet flame energy. So there is this transmutation of energy. Sometimes there's forgiveness work that needs to be done, whether it's forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others, forgiveness of the situation that the world's in right now. There may be a piece of forgiveness work that you'll want to tune into at this time. And then our final card is Radiance, which again, for all the crap that's going on right now, any disharmony that you're feeling in your environment, within yourself, or in relationships, know that it's shifting, and that radiance energy is really kind of lifting everything up. So great card to end with. And I think that there are some actionable steps here as far as working with that create card. Whether it's toning, chanting, mantras, like we said, intuitive art, getting it down, kinesthetic things, cooking, and then just kind of focus on your mindset and, you know, where are your thoughts going? So, yeah, just allow that lightness to enter your your essence, your being, in whatever way you're called to, in a positive, life affirming way at this time. So beautiful, beautiful cards. Thanks to all the artists. We will list the artists that created the cards in the description box below, because Julia and I have been working with these decks forever, and we're just constantly amazed at the wisdom of the women that helped create this these beautiful cards and messages. Okay, so
Good.
Jules, anything you want to add before I stop the screen share?
No, you can stop the screen share. I think that was beautiful. Thank you, Jill, so much. I do want to invite those of you that come to this, if you're looking for maybe some support or some guidance and would like your own personal reading, Jill and I have a wonderful offering to team together on and for your behalf. And so it would be a wonderful way to kick off the new year, to kind of help you personally strengthen your sacred foundation as we move into the new year. And we would be so happy and honored to do that with you. And it's at such a fair price point too, I think, of an offering. So it's not a cheesy sales thing. It's just really is genuinely from our heart that this is what we love to do. And the new year is a wonderful time to firm up your foundation as we move into 2023. So Jill, beautiful. Thank you, sister, so much.
Thank you. And for those of you who are kind of used to feeling energy, sit in the energy of this reading, because I can feel a lot of strong frequencies coming through, and it almost feels like the energy of looking at the card spread itself is healing. So, go ahead and hit pause so you have that image on your screen, take a screenshot, whatever it is that works for you, and kind of just sit with the frequencies of the medicine that the women brought to these cards. So, all right, everybody, we will see you next year, and reach out to either one of us if you have any further questions. Leave a comment if you have anything to share. We love reading them. And Happy New Year, happy holidays, however you do or do not choose to celebrate them. We hope that your heart is full.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, let's see if I can stop this. Bye.